Welcome to Guided, your weekly sanctuary where we blend the wisdom of the Enneagram with the art of intentional living. I'm your host, Evie, and you're so welcome here. Guided is all about helping you, the modern woman, find your flow in a world that's often all hustle and no heart. Whether you're navigating a career pivot, diving into creative pursuits, or just figuring out how to take better care of yourself, Guided is here to support you. This podcast is like a weekly chat with a good friend, one who's passionate about making your life feel good. At Guided, we believe in living with intention, fostering emotional well-being, and finding joy in the everyday. We tackle the big stuff like overthinking, setting boundaries, and avoiding burnout, all while keeping it real and relatable. Think of this as your go-to spot for practical tips, soulful conversations, and a reminder to break free from the grind. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. Thank you for choosing to make Guided a part of your weekly ritual. If you're ready to step into a life of intention and empowerment, then hit that subscribe button and let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Guided. I'm your host Evie, and today we are diving deep into the Gut Triad. I have made you wait. And we are landing today with type 8, 9, and 1. If you don't know your Enneagram type, do make use of my free Enneagram quiz, which is linked in the show notes for you now. And if you are a different Enneagram type, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, you might want to head back a few episodes to where I do a deep dive on both the heart triad and the head triad. But for now, let's get into understanding the gut triad, who are known for their focus on control and instinctual responses to life, particularly with how they handle anger. So the gut triad is also known as the instinctive or body center. You might have heard me use those words interchangeably. And types 8, 9, and 1 make up this center. These types are primarily driven by their gut instincts and have a fundamental concern with issues around control and autonomy and resistance. They tend to respond to life's challenges with an instinctual physical reaction, often seeking to assert their will and maintain their sense of inner stability, which is often driven by their need for justice, whether that be for themselves, for the people that they love, for the environment, for a people group they've never met. Each type in the gut triad handles anger and tension in distinct ways, and this shapes their behavior and interactions with the world. So let's start with type 8s. Type 8s, who are also known as the challengers, are powerful, confident, and very assertive. They have the biggest amount of energy out of everybody on the Enneagram. That is important for two reasons. One, because somebody else in the gut triad also has the least amount of energy. So I think that's important to note that when we're talking about being in the body, you don't just have to have huge amounts of energy to be part of the body center. The type 8s have the biggest amount of energy out of everybody on the Enneagram. So you can often find them, notice them. When you're in a room with a type 8, you'll know that they're there. Type 8s have a deep-seated anger that often manifests itself as a drive to take control and confront injustices. So we hear the word anger, and often we think, well, that's bad. Anger's really bad, and we don't really see very healthy representations of anger in the world. So that must be terrible. No. Type 8 show us how powerful and important it is to get angry about things because it allows us to confront injustices head on. 8s are not afraid to express their anger directly and use it as a tool to assert their dominance and protect themselves and the ones that they love. This anger for type 8s is rooted in a fear of being controlled or harmed. And this leads 8s to develop a tough exterior, often from a very early age. They value strength and self-reliance, and their anger fuels their determination to remain independent and resilient. So I think the type 8's high amount of anger, huge amount of anger is actually what fuels their high amounts of energy. In relationships, type 8s can be incredibly loyal and protective. They stand up for those that they care about. Of course they do. And they fight against any perceived threats. Perceived being an important word to note there. However, their intensity can sometimes overwhelm others. Nobody else can match them energy for energy. So it's crucial for type 8s to balance their strength with vulnerability and allow others to see their softer side. It is there, but people don't often want that from the type 8s, so they've learnt to hide it. Type 8s need to understand that not every situation requires a balance. And to grow, 8s need to learn to trust others and let go of their need for control, which I know is easier said than done. But this means acknowledging your vulnerabilities, type 8, and understanding that expressing your anger constructively is always going to lead to healthier relationships. Practicing empathy and patience also help 8s build a deeper, more meaningful relationships, because type 8s are really empathetic. In fact, if you look for what's just underneath the anger, it's empathy and love that they have. It just comes out in a very strong way. So if this sounds like you might be a type 8. And you might really enjoy this week's blog post, which again is linked in the show notes. I'd love for you to take a look. Okay, now let's move on to type 9, the peacemaker. 9s are known for their easygoing, agreeable nature with their desire to maintain peace and harmony. Sounds delightful. Where's the anger, Eve? Well, I'm glad you asked. Their relationship with anger is quite different from type 8s. 9s often suppress their anger, fearing that expressing it will lead to conflict and disrupt the harmony that they so deeply desire. This suppression can lead to passive-aggressive behaviors or a sense of numbness. So type 8, huge amount of anger, high amount of energy. Type 9, suppressed anger, a sense of numbness leading to a very, very low amount of energy. 9s have the least amount of energy on the Enneagram. And 9s may deny their own needs to go along with others to avoid any form of confrontation. That's how desperately they are desiring harmony. Over time, this will lead to a build-up in resentment and a sense of disconnection from their true selves. In relationships, 9s are supportive and understanding, always striving to create a peaceful environment. However, it's important for 9s to acknowledge and express their anger in a healthy and constructive way. Avoiding conflict leads to misunderstandings and unresolved issues, and ultimately stops the type 9 from living their most empowered and aligned life. And you know we are big on that around here. For personal growth, 9s should focus on recognizing and then expressing their own desires and opinions, including their anger. It's essential for them to engage in activities that energize them and motivate them because of their very low energy and this sense of numbness. And this is going to help them break free from any patterns of procrastination. Setting clear goals and then taking consistent action is another way that 9s can stay connected to their personal ambitions and passions. But this often comes once they've found a safe person to share that with, because their low energy stops them from being able to move forward consistently. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it does mean getting started can be tricky. For the type 9, embracing their anger as a natural and healthy emotion can also lead to a more authentic and fulfilling relationship. Let's normalize anger in a healthy and constructive way. Okay, finally, let's explore type 1, the reformers. 1s are principled and purposeful and perfectionistic, and they have a strong sense of right and wrong and are driven by a desire to improve the world around them. Their relationship with anger is characterized by an inner critic that constantly urges them to strive for perfection. Type 1s often experience anger as irritation or frustration when things don't meet up to their high standards. And then with this relentless inner critic, making sure that they notice every time they get something wrong, which is exhausting. However, they tend to repress their anger, believing that expressing it openly is inappropriate or even a sign of failure. Again, this is a message from their inner critic. This repression can lead to feelings of resentment and rigidity as they continuously strive for control in their environment and themselves. In relationships, 1s are dependable and conscientious partners. I should know, I am one. And they bring a sense of order and stability, always striving to do the right thing. However, their critical nature and repressed anger can absolutely create tension as they struggle to accept imperfection in not only themselves, but also others. To grow, 1s need to learn to practice self-compassion and embrace the idea that perfection is unattainable. This might be a daily task, especially in the beginning. Learning to accept and appreciate that beauty imperfection is beauty itself and can bring a sense of relief and joy. is so important for type 1s, and allowing themselves to feel and then express their anger in healthy ways can lead to more genuine and compassionate interaction. And there you have it, my very quick deep dive into the gut center, Enneagram types 8, 9, and 1. Each type within the gut triad offers powerful strengths and specific challenges, all centered around their instinctual responses and management of their anger. And if this sounds like you, why not book an Enneagram blueprint typing session where we can dive deeper into understanding where this anger is holding you back on a daily basis? Remember, understanding your Enneagram type is just the beginning. The real transformation happens when you apply these insights to your daily life, which in turn can foster personal growth and deepen connections with those around. If Guided the podcast resonated with you, why not share it on your socials or send it to your friends? And if you have a spare moment, I would love it if you could leave me a review. These small gestures are free and they're invaluable in helping me amplify the reach of Guided the podcast, connecting us with more empowered women who are eager to increase their well-being. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop with our latest episodes. By subscribing, you'll stay connected and receive a weekly dose of inspiration directly to your inbox. Thank you for being a part of our community, for showing up, and for your commitment to personal growth and self-discovery. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay curious, and keep exploring the depths of your own inner wisdom.